It's the final week of the Texas high school football regular season, and it all comes down to this. These are the picks. Welcome into the picks, your guide to the Texas high school football weekend. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in, and here we are. The end of the 2018 Texas high school football regular season. A little less than half the teams will be moving on to the playoffs, but the others, they're going home, and their season is over. They're hanging up pads on Monday. Still a lot to decide before we get to the Texas high school football playoffs. We start in Lubbock County. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Nolan Stadium in New Deal. The District 2-2A Division I title is on the line as the Sundown Roughnecks take on the New Deal Lions. What are the keys to this matchup? Well, key number one, Christian Huey versus the New Deal defense. And this is the matchup we're going to have to keep an eye on. The Sundown quarterback Christian Huey has been sensational as a junior. 27 touchdowns against just 4 interceptions, completing about 65% of his passes. But the New Deal defense will be his toughest test yet. They're giving up just 11 points per game. They've turned the ball over 22 times. This New Deal defense is for real. So what happens when this outstanding junior signal caller takes aim at the Lions defense? Key number two, Jet Whitfield outside the pocket. On the other side of the ball, New Deal quarterback Jet Whitfield has been fantastic, and while he's an excellent thrower, he does the majority of his damage outside the pocket. Yes, he can take off and run with it. He's had 3 games in which he's gone over 100 yards rushing. He's averaging 8.5 yards per carry, but more importantly, he extends the play. He lets his receivers get open. He is a tremendous dual-threat quarterback in every sense of the word. Can the Sundown defense, led by Gus Davis, contain Whitfield to the pocket, or will he get loose and wreak havoc? And key number 3, close call. It figures that this game's going to be pretty close. 2 evenly matched teams, and history suggests so. 5 of the last 8 meetings between these 2 teams have been decided by a single possession. But neither of these teams in 2018 have a ton of experience playing close games. Sundown hasn't played a game that has been decided by single digits, and for New Deal, they played 1 game, a win over Slayton, that was decided by 6 points, but besides that, it's been pretty much blowout city. So, what happens when these 2 teams get into what will inevitably be a close game? Who handles the close game atmosphere better? Who am I picking? I'm going with Sundown. Even on the road, I really like quarterback Christian Huey, and more importantly, I think their defense is starting to really round into form and surge at the right time. New Deal can absolutely win this game. They've been terrific at home and undefeated on the year. Their defense has been lights out. They need to contain Christian Huey to do that. But for now, I think Sundown takes home the 2-2A Division I title. Let's move to Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Thursday night at Cypress FCU Stadium. The District 14 6A crown is on the line as the Tomball Memorial Wildcats take on the Cypress Ranch Mustangs. What are the keys to this matchup? Well, key number 1, Cy Ranch's chunk runs. So this is a team in Cy Ranch that wants to keep the ball on the ground. They want to grind it out 3-4 yards at a time. But really where they're most dangerous is when they're breaking off those big runs. DJ Sears and Willie Eldridge has been fantastic. Elias Pino is in that mix as well. They want to run the ball and break a couple of big ones. Can the Tomball Memorial defense keep them in check, or will Cy Ranch run wild? Key number 2, Tomball Memorial's play action. This is a Wildcats team that also wants to keep the ball on the ground. Christian Lovick, their running back, has been outstanding, but when they pull the ball and throw, they are especially effective. Chandler Galvin, their quarterback, is averaging more than 21 yards per completion whenever he throws, and the large majority of those plays come off of play action. Can the Wildcats catch Cy Ranch peeking in the backfield? That's a huge key in this one. And key number 3, playoff atmosphere. So both of these teams have clinched playoff spots. They're both going dancing. They're both going to the Division II bracket. But the game here will determine seeding. And the loser of this game is probably going to go on the road to Austin to take on unbeaten Austin Vandegrift. There's a lot on the line, and for all intents and purposes, the playoffs start now for both these teams. Who handles the playoff atmosphere better? Who am I picking? I'm going with Cy Ranch. I think being at home helps in this one, but beyond that, I think their running game has just been so tremendous. But I think that the difference in this game may be the quarterback, Logan McDougald, who has been really everything that they need just out of the quarterback spot. They don't throw the ball a ton, but he makes great decisions when they do. Not to mention the Cy Ranch defense is really looking like a vintage Cy Ranch team. So I think Gene Johnson gets another district crown. Give me Cy Ranch. 7 o'clock Thursday night at Eagle Stadium in DeSoto. It's the Battle of Beltline as the DeSoto Eagles welcome in the Cedar Hill Longhorns. No real playoff implications in this one, but there's plenty of bad blood between these two rivals. My question here is, can the Cedar Hill offense wake up? Quarterback Shane Lawrence has been terrific, but the past couple of weeks they've kind of sleptwalked through their two district wins. I think DeSoto is flying high right now. I think Shandarian Ward gets it done. Give me DeSoto. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Tiger Stadium in Goliad. It's a terrific 3A clash as the Yoakum Bulldogs take on the Goliad Tigers, and the matchup here is clear. Goliad's outstanding defense taking aim at this grinding, physical Yoakum running game. Can Goliad shake off the loss from last week that they suffered at the hands of Edna? This has been a roulette wheel of these three teams beating up on each other. It ends here. I think Yoakum takes home the win and the district crown. 7 o'clock Thursday night at Maverick Stadium in Arlington. It is a battle of unbeatens for the District 4 6A crown as Arlington Lamar takes on Arlington, and it's so cool to see these two blue bloods undefeated playing in a game that really matters. I'm really interested in the Lamar defense, which has been lights out, taking aim at this Arlington offense led by quarterback Jahari Rogers, but the difference here is running back Jordan Williams for Lamar. I think he has a big game. I think the Vikings take home the win. Another battle of unbeatens in the greater DFW area. 7 o'clock Thursday night at C.H. Collins Stadium in Denton. Denton Ryan welcomes in unbeaten Birdville, and the District 4 5A Division I crown is on the line. Remember, the #1 seed is on the line coming out of that district as well. Been really impressed with Birdville. One of the stories of the year this year. Their juniors, Ladarius Mixon and Stone Early, have been tremendous, but I think the difference here is Ryan's defensive front. They're so physical, they're so big, they're so deep. I think Ryan takes home the win. And 7:30 p.m. Friday night at the Reservation in Port Neches. It's Mid-County Madness for the 12 5A Division II crown as the unbeaten Nederland Bulldogs take on arch rival Port Neches Groves. And look, I don't need to sell you on this one. This is one of the greatest rivalries in Texas high school football, and it figures to be a barn burner. Two tremendous quarterbacks in this one. Rashawn Johnson for Port Neches Groves and Blazin Fernandez for Nederland. I think the difference here, the Nederland defense. I think the Bulldogs take home the Bum Phillips Bowl and bring home a district crown. But those are far from the only big games in Week 11 of the Texas high school football season. Let's get to the lightning round. I like Burton over Snook. Angleton takes down Friendswood. And in a rare non-district matchup in Week 11, I think Munster beats Windthorst. Hewitt Midway keeps it rolling with a win over a wounded Belton team. Give me El Paso Del Valle to beat El Paso Chapin, and Gladewater gets by Tatum. College Station edges Magnolia West in a wild shootout. I'm going to take Giddings to beat LaGrange, and Austin Westlake takes down Austin Bowie. Abernathy squeaks by Idalou. Groover beats Stratford, and I like Hamlin over Albany. Corpus Christi Kyle Allen takes home another district crown with a win over Port Lavaca Calhoun. Haltom goes on the road way out to San Angelo and beats San Angelo Central. And I think Converse Judson polishes off another unbeaten regular season with a win over Schertz Clemens. Crandall beats Athens. Odessa Permian beats Midland Lee in one of the great rivalries in Texas high school football. And one of the toughest games to call this week, I think Eastland barely gets by Jim Ned. Edinburgh Vela stays perfect with a win over Weslaco. East Seguin takes down Alston LBJ, and I like Jasper over Center. John Tyler keeps rolling with a win over Sherman. Van Alstyne beats Bonham, and Katy beats Katy Taylor. Two best teams in Laredo go at one another. I like United to edge Alexander. Wellington moves to 10-0 with a win over Wheeler, and I like Lubbock Estacado over Levelland. Malakoff beats Kemp. San Saba, the Armadillos, keep it rolling. They beat Dilion. And Sealy, another great story, they beat Needville. Kerrville-Tivy beats Medina Valley. Our six-man game of the week is a battle of unbeatens as Garden City gets by Sterling City. And up in Wichita Falls, to another great rivalry, I think Ryder beats Old High. And those are the picks. What am I wrong about? Which games did I leave out? Leave comments down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/DaveCampbells. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/DaveCampbells. And of course, see us at TexasFootball.com, where you can find complete coverage of the Texas high school football playoffs starting next week. Thanks for watching. Enjoy Week 11 of the Texas high school football season. We'll see you.